Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Four Corners series here in Elite Dangerous. If you're unaware, we are going to be attempting to go to the four corners of the galaxy in our Mandalay. Oh, how does that all happen? Okay. We're going to be attempting to go to the four corners of the galaxy in our Mandalay, trying to visit points of interest along the way. We are going to be using the Elite Dangerous Star Map software to kind of get ourselves to different places, different points of the galaxy. So we're going to try to go south. We're going south first, and then we'll go do maybe like a clockwise pattern around. And as we do, there's a point of interest tracker on the Elite Dangerous Star Map, and we're basically just going to go do like a trail of breadcrumbs from one part of the galaxy to the other, trying to visit these places as we go. So let's go ahead and get through this. I feel like the controls are really squishy right now. It's weird. Oh yeah, we weren't able to fuel scoop in the last one. So yeah, hopefully that'll make the process a little bit more interesting. We're still going to do our exobiology and all of that stuff when we're in systems like this, so don't worry, that content will still be there. But hopefully having some places to go and things to see as we're going along will spice up the journey just a little bit. So the first place that we're going to be going to is called Gibbonici's Trio. It's in HIP 18119, sorry. And apparently it has a trio of Earth-like planets that all orbit each other, which, you know, that's kind of interesting. I know it's not like going to be super visually stunning, but it'll be interesting to see three Earth-like planets all just kind of orbiting each other. So apparently it's only 4 jumps away from where we ended our last episode. So yeah, we'll do some exobiology as we're on our way over there, and hopefully we'll be able to go and see 4 different Earth-like worlds, or sorry, 3 different Earth-like worlds orbiting each other. Oh, that's why it's squishy, because my throttle's, I keep forgetting. I need to deactivate the throttle. That's the problem. I don't ever use it, so having it attached and having to remember to turn it on and off is just kind of annoying. Alright, so we got 9 bodies in this. We're going to go ahead and take a second and do that now so that I stop forgetting. Ship controls, flight throttle. We're going to remove that axis there and hit apply. And now we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then now we can do our full spectrum system scan. Ooh, we got to adjust the sensitivity on that. That's not reasonable. Let's see here. Tuning sensitivity, we'll turn that up, and then the mouse sensitivity, we're going to turn it up to like right there, I think. Hit apply. Alright, that's at least more reasonable. So yeah, we're just going to be looking for exobiology and more than one signature. I'm not going to go through the entire landing process for what's almost going to certainly turn out to be bacteria. A lot of the things that we went through in the previous journeys that we've done, ooh, that's a little too sensitive on the FSS thing here. It's a little too much to do that. Well, since we're in there, let me increase this a little more. All right, there we go. It's a little better. All right, let's get some scanning done. What is it? Oh, there we go. So I don't know why I had such a hard time finding that. You know what? I didn't even look to see. I was too busy. Yeah, I think I'm in such a habit at this point that I don't actively look at the features over there. I can just kind of tell when there's nothing in it. Well, we're looking for biological features, so that's what we're going for. We have 2 more jumps until we reach our point of interest for this video, ideally, and then take a look at the star map and decide if or point ourselves towards the next one. So let me actually select that as I think the window actually has to be up before I can do it. Let's see. There it is. All right, cool. Get ourselves some fuel scooping done. I'm still having a hard time getting back in the habit of pressing that discovery scanner, but we'll get there. 15 bodies, so we'll see about potentially. Right, so we want to go away from the plane of the star so that the star doesn't get in our way. The plane of the system so that the star doesn't get in our way trying to scan stuff. Looks like mostly icy bodies and a couple of high metal content worlds, so not too shabby. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, hold on, I gotta force window always on top. The mouse doesn't go outside of my window. Nothing there. Ooh, okay. We got 4 biological sources there, so we'll head off to that. So there's a good chance we're not going to make it to our destination. Well, I don't know. We're only 5 minutes in. We might be able to get a... I'm not really trying to exhaustively scan everything. We'll go there and try to find the most interesting things, and then we'll move on. Like, I don't want to spend too much time in any one particular system because we got a long, long journey ahead of us. I mean, realistically, with the amount of time that we're going to be out here in deep space, we may not even land on some of these ones, that even if they have like a whole lot of them, because if there's nothing interesting to go find, then, you know, I don't know. It might not be worth our time. Oh. All right, well. So we are looking for land or planets and moons. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just because this ship handles differently. The Cobra Mark IV just seems to handle a lot more crisply. This one's a lot more, like, mushy with the controls, I think. And I think it probably is the ship. I mean, the Cobra is meant to be a tiny little nimble ship, and this one's more of a medium, long-range exploration platform, so I would imagine it probably is a little bit more squishy with the controls and everything. So we'll head over here, scan some things. I think that if there's something that's going to be interesting to go down to go look at, then maybe we will. But if it's just going to be... Like, I'm not trying to make money, really, on this trip. We have enough money to buy a fleet carrier if we want to, so money is not my goal, and I don't really want to waste a bunch of time going down to see things that are just going to be boring anyway. So if the planet has an interesting surface feature that makes an interesting surface visual or whatever that would make it worth going down to look, or if there's one of those really interesting looking, a potential for a really interesting looking exobiology thing, like the space mushrooms and stuff like that. Ooh, yeah, I had my controls reset again, so now we have to go back through and reset all of these things because the developers still haven't, ooh, that's too much. The developers still haven't figured out how to make sure that your controls don't get erased when you plug something new in. Alright, let's see. We want 6 probes, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we'll see what's here. If any of it looks interesting, we'll go down. Otherwise, we'll just move on to the next system. So we're still going to get a little bit of money out of scanning out of the DSS and the planetary scans and stuff like that. So you got bacteria, fonticula, it's going to be the space mushrooms. Fungoida is just going to be like it's like little stalks of like fungus grass. And osseous. To be perfectly honest with you, none of that sounds particularly interesting to me. But I do need to now add my get out of detailed surface scanner free keybind because as with everything else, it got erased with the reset. So yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and move on, because that planet's boring. Like, this whole trip is more about trying to find as many interesting things as we can, not necessarily making money. Like, if it's Stratum Tectonicus, we'll probably go down for that, because that's absolutely, if we can get first footfall, that's absolutely worth the time it takes to go down there. And there's a couple of other species that would make it worth our time to go down there just because of the insane amount of credits that you get out of it. But outside of that, none of those are that. So we're just going to let that go. We're just going to let that go. I'm not particularly interested in what that was. All right. So we are now here. We will have to do a full spectrum system scan because we're going to have to identify the Earth-like worlds that are supposed to be here. So let's hop out of this, hop into here. Oh, because I keep forgetting to do the damn discovery scanner. It will eventually become habit as I'm forced to remember that it's a thing. Okay. So we have some Earth-like worlds here. But there's only 11 bodies here, so we'll just go ahead and do a full scan like we normally do. Because why not? have... Alright, so these are our Earth-like worlds here. Probably. Yep, Earth-like world there. Earth-like world there. And another Earth-like world there. We'll go take a look at those in a second. Let's go finish scanning all of our stuff. Alright, a few more to go. Well, that looks interesting. A few more to go. Still no biological features, so that's okay. We're here to go see the Earth-like worlds. Alright, so now that we have that done, we need to use the system map to go over and... Are these it? I'm spacing out. Outdoor world. What does that mean? Okay, well, it's definitely these, so let's just get over there. An outdoor world? What is that? That seems weird. All right, so we're gonna head over here and check out a trio of Earth-like worlds. So hopefully we can get a decent, little. I'm not gonna like take screenshots because I'm not gonna be able to post them on YouTube or anything. But yeah, we'll try to get reasonably close and give you guys a chance to actually see what this looks like. So 3 Earth-like worlds all orbiting each other. There we are. All right. So hopefully that was worth the 12 minutes it took us to get over here, but yeah. If you've seen one Earth-like world, you've seen them all. I'm not gonna like go do a close-up on them. But just the interesting thing is just that they're all together and orbiting each other like this. I think that's kind of cool. So now that we've gotten that point of interest done, let's take a look at our star map. Oh yeah, so here we are, Gibbonici's trio, a trio of Earth-like planets all orbit each other in the system. They seem to be prime targets for colonization. So, as I said in our first episode, we are trying to head down here towards the southern meridian. That's the first leg of our journey. So doing that, we're going to continue to try to find, where was that? Okay, that's this right here. So it's not gonna be a straight line there, but we're just gonna try to find trying to find points of interest along the way here. So the next one is just things that are along our path. So we're gonna go to this lone world system, a system with but a single planet, a lone Earth-like world with only 2 unremarkable main sequence stars as company. So, you know, from a scientific perspective, that's kind of interesting because if it's the only planet in the system and it's an Earth-like world, that's kind of weird. So this is where we're going to be heading next. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it there in this episode. It's probably pretty far away. Yeah, 2,000 light years. That's going to be, I don't know, 10 or 15 jumps, something like that. Oh, 30 jumps. Never mind. I can't do math, apparently. Let me get rid of the window for you there. Sorry. All right. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll try to get as far as we can towards our next destination in this episode, but it'll be kind of cool if every episode we can just kind of highlight a point of interest from the Elite Dangerous star map, which, you know, people went out there and did some cool exploration before us, so we might as well stop along and take the sightseeing tour while we're doing exploration out here in the black. Hopefully that'll make the journey a little bit more interesting. It'll give us something to do other than just hop on, scan some stuff, move on. So hopefully that's going to be more fun than some of the previous trips that I've done. We're going to try to make this as fun and interesting as possible. Scratch that exploration itch that a lot of us have. If we can get into the next system here, that'd be swell. Server lag. I don't think we can scoop this one because...
System scan complete.
Yeah, we can't scoop this one. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know what's happening with the map here, but it doesn't save my settings in the map anymore. And it's really frustrating. I'm gonna reroute it so that we stay on systems that have fuel scooping capability. Because the last thing we want to do out here in the black is get stuck. That's gonna be terrible. But yeah, I don't know. It used to save my my filter settings, and it just doesn't save them anymore. I don't know what the deal is. Every time I go into the star map, it unhighlights everything I had highlight and starts with everything turned off. So I don't know what the deal is with that. It's really frustrating, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure how to fix that, or if there's a fix for it, if that's just a bug that was introduced in one of the patches in the last 6 months or so, or whatever. But it's kind of annoying.
Fuel scooping.
You know. Oh, I turned off the orbit lines. No, duh. That explains that. I'm like, why am I continually getting no indication as to what's going on here? I don't want to die. I don't want to damage my ship running into the star. All right, we're done fuel scooping. Let's hop into the system scanner. We got some gas giants and some icy bodies, which means that there's probably not going to be anything super interesting here. Because it's, one biological, that's going to be bacteria, almost certainly. A couple of geological features. But without going to investigate, we're never going to find out what those features are. And I don't personally find any of the geological features particularly compelling. I mean, they're nice. Like, they're not bad or anything. They're just not the most interesting thing in the world. So I would really be wanting to try to... Oh, it's another... I don't know why, but I read that as transient evil source. That's why I did the double take there. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Get in here and scan this here. And scan whatever moons are around it. Looks like it might just be the one. We got a couple of geological sources there. Another couple of geological sources. Yeah, it's all geology there. And then we should have another gas giant there. Hop over here. And then we have one moon for this guy. So yeah, a couple of biological sources, but the math tells me that it's most likely going to be some kind of bacteria, which is boring. So we're moving on. I'm not interested in patches of color. That's not fun. That's not fun. So yeah, I'm hoping I can keep up the. I'm hoping I can keep an optimistic outlook on this journey now that we kind of have a secondary, or I guess a primary goal, and the thing we're doing, this little gameplay loop that we're doing, is kind of just the secondary loop that we're doing to make money along the way and feel like we're getting something done, other than just going straight towards things. Feel like we're actually exploring the galaxy instead of just taking the guided tour. Maybe we'll find some interesting things along the way. That would be nice. Breaking up your journey into smaller chunks generally helps. Breaking up big tasks into smaller tasks generally helps you stay motivated to do them. So hopefully this approach, another single biology, hopefully this approach will make it a lot more fun. We'll see. We'll see. At the very least, we'll hopefully see some interesting things along the way, even if we don't find anything all on our own. And that's the goal. Go see cool stuff. Okay.
System scan complete.
Unfortunately, nothing there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Still have 28 jumps left to go. Nebulas. The nebulas in this game always look pretty cool. Excuse me. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do... I don't know that I'm necessarily going to waste a bunch of time. Like in my previous journeys, I would try to find a landable planet to... landable planet to, go to bed for the day, but I don't think in this journey I'm going to worry about that much. If we happen to find biological signatures towards the end of an episode, then, you know, we'll just go ahead and end the episode on the ground there. But otherwise, I think we'll just log out in space, because landing on planets is just kind of an annoying process to begin with, and I just don't want to deal with it. So that's probably what we're going to do. Probably just log out in space. So I think what we'll do is we'll roll the dice one last time on this particular system here. That's going to take us a minute or two to get that done. And if we don't find anything, we'll just log out. And if we do, we'll go to the planet and maybe start the episode off. Maybe start the next episode off scanning some biology. Give you guys a reason to come back. See what we find. See what we get. Alright. Still nothing. Still nothing. It's always kind of weird when you get into these situations where it's like our own solar system. Lots of separate individual bodies, and then a few gas giants that have a crap ton of moons around them. It does make the process take longer when it's like that, because, you know, when it's mostly just some gas giants with a bunch of bodies around it, it feels like it's a lot easier to get through this, because you don't have to search around so much. I was going to say so far. You don't have to search around so much. Still nothing. Still nothing. Rolling dice. We're still not sure if the episode's done yet. Still not sure if the episode's done yet. Probably is. We don't know yet. Alright, here's our last gas giant. And likely we are finished. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip at the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you prefer to go that route, because some people like to go outside of YouTube to support the channel. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for future episodes. We're going to be finding some really cool stuff in our journey here, and I'll see you then.